I feel like this eclipse is coming in to wipe away your performance for others and bringing it back to self. So how do you feel when you step onto the stage of life and you perform for you, not for the applaud of others, but when you show up and maybe there is no applaud, but you feel good? Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I'm Sarah Louise. I'm an intuitive. I'm a reader of the cosmic weather, and I'm here showing up every week to share with you my intuitive take on what's coming up. So what energy is going to be around and how you can best navigate yourself through the week. So we have probably one of the most epic events of 2026 happening this week. And yeah, the cosmic weather is on fire for us. And yeah, it's a big one. So get your cup of tea, get your glass of water, sit down with me for a moment, and let's just have a little chat about it. Yeah. It's eclipse week, and this energy has been building. The momentum's been building up over the last couple of weeks. So you may feel this kind of urge to get rid of, to clear out, to cleanse, to declutter, because that kind of is that kind of shedding before we come into a new cycle. And with this eclipse, there is a definite new cycle, a whole new kind of stage to perform coming in. And yeah, so if you felt like that over the last couple of weeks, then you are right on track. Yeah, I've been clearing out my cupboards, getting rid of everything, like just, decide to move, clear my space, being a new space. Like that's very much eclipse energy. Yeah, and normally I'd be like, oh, I really want that and I love that and that's really sentimental. And I'm like, I don't want any of it. I want to clear the slate clean. And yeah, that's eclipse energy. So if you've been feeling like that too, like pulling out those cupboards, then you're right on path. Yeah. So eclipses build up. They have their kind of opening, their peak. And this eclipse opens on, it's very early in the hours of the 13th of August here in Brisbane. Check where it is for you. It's in Leo and it's a new Leo cycle. And then it's like we open on that beautiful new moon. And then, so it's a solar eclipse. And then it goes for 2 weeks and we're in the 2-week corridor. Yeah, and it closes on the 28th, I think it is, 2-week corridor, yeah, on a lunar eclipse. And so it's like, in the solar, it's like there's this kind of like big kind of illumination and there's this kind of light that's shone on kind of new areas. And eclipses are like, I always call them like wild cards. You never really know what's coming with an eclipse. It's like all of a sudden the universe gets in the driver's seat and you become the passenger, and it's kind of like, let it take over. It's a time to really surrender and trust and know that whatever is going to be is in divine hands, and hand it over. That to me is what eclipse time is all about. And in this new window and cycle of Leo, it's like, it's around kind of your heart and your courage and how you shine your light and how you show up and kind of how you perform on the stage of life. And I really truly feel this, right? Many of us have learned to perform for others. And it's like we do things because of the reaction that we get. We kind of live a life creating things that we feel will kind of make us look successful and on the outside. So we kind of step onto the stage of life, and very early on we learn, if I do that, that makes them happy. If I do that, that makes them laugh. If I do that, there's that. And so we kind of mold ourselves into becoming what externally has become acceptable, a way that we earn love, a way that we feel seen, valued, appreciated. And it can kind of take us off track with who we truly are inside. And I feel like this eclipse is coming in to wipe away your performance for others and bringing it back to self. So how do you feel when you step onto the stage of life and you perform for you, not for the applaud of others, but when you show up and maybe there is no applaud, but you feel good? Yeah? Yes, we all want to be appreciated and we want to feel loved, but the way that we transform and the way that we kind of adjust ourselves for the external has to shift now. Because remember, we're becoming more authentic, more in tune, more internally living, and it's kind of, I'll give you a little analogy this week. So I'm setting up a new office and, it had nothing there. So I was putting things into the bathroom and I was like, oh, there's that really nice soap. And, I'll go to that special shop to get that really nice, expensive hand soap. And I went to the shop and they didn't have it. They had this other one and it was like even more expensive, but it wasn't the one I had in my head, the one that I know that everyone loves and the one that, maybe I might be judged for if I don't have. And I got back in my car and I had to go to the supermarket to get other stuff. And I was like, there's beautiful hand soap in the supermarket. Maybe it's $10 instead of $80. And I kind of looked at it and I was like, that's actually really beautiful. Why wouldn't I put that? And it was a real check-in with myself. I need to have that to be seen as that. I need to have that because that's the expectation. And I need to have that because, that what would they think if it was just that? Yeah? And I bought the one from the supermarket because it's really nice. And I was like, that has to change. Like, is that important to me authentically? No. Like, it actually is really not important. And so that's me being authentic. And maybe it's important to others and that's okay. But for me, in that moment, it was like, and that's what I'm talking about here. That's a really, off-chart analogy, but you know what I'm saying. It's like, where have we shifted to become what we think we should be seen as? Yeah, where we think we should. Yeah, so I really want you to tune into that this week because that's what this eclipse is coming to really shake up. Yeah, it wants to shake that up. It wants to rattle your old belief system. It wants to rattle where you are so that you start tuning more into actually what's important to me. How do I want to stand up on the stage of life and not worry if there's no applause, but stand up and be the real authentic me, and that's okay. Yeah. It's big for us because our human conditioning has become so focused on, you need to, if you this, you're successful. If you're that, if you're successful, if you wear that watch, then you must be this. And, that's all the things that we're striving for. And it's like, ooh, I'm just about to sell my big home, that's beautiful. And I don't need it. Yeah, I don't need that. Does it truly make me happy? No, it gives me a lot of things to do and a lot of work to do. Is that the life of freedom and travel and experiences that I want to be living going forward? No. Was it perfect up until this point? Yes. But is it who I'm becoming? No. Do I have different dreams and desires? Yes. So it's new chapters are coming in. So where are you in your kind of storybook of life? Are you still in an old chapter? Are you still, I could hold on to it for the identity, because I have a, really? Does it really matter? To me, no. Does it matter more to me to have freedom? Yeah. So these are all the things that the eclipse really wants us to look at. Yeah. Shifting that, becoming true to ourselves, really checking in, becoming more aligned, letting go of these kind of false senses, and not worrying about what anybody thinks, and not needing the applause, not needing the validation. That's the energy. So, you know, when you step on that stage of life and you sing your song, if no one claps, that's okay. If you had a good time, that's all that matters. Yeah. So you got to super check in, because as I say, this eclipse is going to come in and shake your foundations and go, what are you holding on to that? So it's a big, big week. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of shifting. There's a lot of, and you know, that 2 week period in between those eclipses, that foundation is like, it's a little bit fragile. You know, we've got to be careful. We've got to really look after ourselves. From midweek this week, rest more, sleep more, drink more water, be careful of toxins, think before you speak. If it's not a definite yes, shh, I'll come back to you on that. Yeah. It's going to feel a little bit chaotic. It's going to feel a little bit overwhelming, like there's a lot on. Go outside, ground, look at the sunrise, watch the sunset, do your yoga or whatever it is to you. Unfortunately, I can't do yoga because my back hurts with it at the moment, but I can stretch, right? I can do other things. So if that doesn't work, it's not a, oh no, that's enough. It's find something else. Look after you. Have some body work. Be in your body. Really tune in. Get back into your body. Yeah, move. Shake it off. Yeah, if conversations start to get really heightened, stop. Hey, listen, I'm feeling really triggered right now, or I can feel that I'm starting to become reactive. Can we just hold it there and come back to it in a moment? I just need to go to the bathroom, wash your hands, cleanse it off, take a shower, wash it off, come back to it. Yeah. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to become a different version of yourself. You're allowed to be a beginner. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to create something that no one understands. You are allowed to be the real you. Yeah. So, it's a big week. I want you to read the written email this week, please, because there's a lot of information in there. Yeah, please have a read of it. There's questions to ask yourself, things to contemplate on. Have a little read. There'll be a link here. Yeah, tune in. Okay, what's going on for me? Where's this shifting happening for me? Maybe happening in your relationship, maybe happening in your workspace. It may be happening, you know, family, or like, where is it? Where's it kind of hitting me right now? What needs to change? And surrender and trust. Trust yourself more than ever. But to trust yourself, we have to be quiet, right? And kind of tune in and to even hear. Yeah? Stop scrolling, stop busying, stop comparing, stop competing. Be here. Right here. Close your eyes. Take a breath. Allow yourself to be held. Have an amazing week. I will see you next week, where we will be in the middle of this crazy time.